Deadly diseases. Top 10 dreadful symptoms. The human body is truly marvelous. It can cope with ridiculous demands, heal itself, feed itself, and most importantly, protect itself from harm. However, our understanding of the true mysteries of human anatomy and how the body works is far from perfect. Many times we've been confronted with new diseases that we simply didn't even know existed. Here are 10 truly weird symptoms that may signal an underlying deadly disease. 10. Forgetting to breathe. Yeah, you read that right. People sometimes forget to breathe. When pressure begins to build on the brain for whatever reason, be it due to a large bloody stroke, an expanding tumor, or the accumulation of water within the brain matter, hydrocephalus, the brain is eventually pressed against the skull. This often affects the breathing centers located in the brainstem. So yes, the age-old joke of somebody forgetting to breathe actually comes true. It's far from being a laughing matter in real life, however, as it often signifies a buildup of intracranial pressure that may eventually end in death. 9. Dancing. You know that feeling when you can't sit still and the beat of the music just takes over your body? We're not talking about that. In the medical field, music and dance inclinations aside, there exist several severely degenerative diseases that result in the patient having uncontrolled jerky movements, otherwise noted by non-medical individuals as a form of dancing. Such movement are referred to as hemibolismus and result from certain portions of the brain losing their inhibitory control of movement. Though quite interesting at first glance, the symptom is quite debilitating and oftentimes requires an intensive amount of medications to keep the patient from moving or exhibiting jerking movements. 8. Hypersexuality. It's joked that men are from Mars and women are from Venus, but it turns out that the human sex drive is written into deeper parts of the human brain. Hypersexuality and inappropriate sexual behavior are all part of a group of symptoms that describe Kluver-Bucy syndrome, a rare disease often seen in people who have sustained large amounts of damage to the portions of their brain responsible for keeping these emotions in check. 7. Complete paralysis while completely awake. Chances of recovery are often slim, with most patients remaining in this state until they die. Several famous cases of LIS include Stephen Hawking, who is afflicted with ALS, Rom Hubin, a highly publicized car crash survivor who was trapped in the state for over 23 years, and Jean-Dominique Bauby, a French philanthropist who later founded an organization dedicated to helping those with LIS. 6. Testicles larger than your body. Imagine having large testicles. Now imagine that they're larger than your torso. Now imagine being unable to move due to the sheer bulk and size of your enlarged testicles. Such a condition, called elephantiasis, which can also refer to enlargement of the feet or legs in addition to the genitals. 5. Burning up. Malignant hyperthermia is often caused by an inherited defect in an individual's normal temperature response. Unfortunately, most people who suffer from this are often unaware that they have the mutation until they're sent to intensive care after surgery, thus giving a new meaning to being hot in bed. 4. Being hurt by sunlight. No, we're not talking about Twilight or Edward Cullen. Instead, we're looking at the medical condition that spurred the whole legend of vampires and associated ways to dispose of them, namely light and garlic. This condition is called porphyria, a general term used to describe the buildup of porphyrins in the body due to an inability to produce heme from the porphyrins. Some types are more severe than others. 3. Fear of water. We've all seen cats and dogs exhibit aversions to water, but can it ever happen to humans? Apart from fear of drowning or the neglect of personal hygiene, the fear of water, specifically of swallowing, has often been seen in cases of rabies. Sufferers don't truly fear water. The rabies virus triggers a severe muscle spasm around the throat. Those who've succumbed to the encephalitic stage of rabies display a severe aversion to and difficulty with swallowing, making it appear as though they have a fear of water. Rabies is a highly fatal disease if left untreated, so if you've sustained a bite from a suspected rabid animal, go to your local hospital immediately. 2. Completely ignoring a body part. People can be forgetful. They forget their car keys, their wives, and their kids. But what happens when you feel that a certain body part or an entire side of your body doesn't exist? Don't say it can't happen. People who suffered strokes and were lucky enough to survive often display this symptom. 1. Self-mutilation. A lot of times we take the act of self-harm to be a symptom with psychological roots. The individual may be troubled or is coping with numerous problems. However, individuals may go as far as to mutilate their own lips, tongue, and fingers when afflicted with Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. LNS is a genetic disorder that involves problems with the body's ability to recycle uric acid, a byproduct of normal cell recycling. The uric acid pools in undesirable areas of the body, such as the brain. This then causes many of the seemingly psychological symptoms that we see, the most obvious of which is gross mutilation of the body.